Number 59, a thin rod of length r on a frictionless surface pivots about its left end as shown below. The rod is at rest and is hit by a sphere, which causes the rod to rotate counterclockwise about its pivot. The initial momentum of the sphere is p sub I, and the final momentum is p sub f in the opposite direction of its initial movement. What's the magnitude of the angular momentum? All right, so we want the magnitude. All right, so we can say angular momentum is equal to moment of inertia times angular velocity. Moment of inertia is going to equal mr squared in linear terms, and angular velocity we can relate by saying linear velocity over radius so this will cancel out the square, and we have L equals mRV or mv times r. And we know that mv is equal to momentum times r. All right, so now we can look at what's going on here, and we can call the bar, we can call that object 1, and the sphere we could call object 2. When a momentum is going upward, we're going to say that's a positive direction. And when it's going downward, we're going to say it's a negative direction. So with conservation of momentum, we have our equation m1 v1 plus m2 v2 equals m1 v1 prime plus m2 v2 prime. And we're going to say initially the rod, which we're calling 1, has no momentum because it's at rest. And we can then solve for the final momentum of 2 by saying mass 2, v2, is equal to the initial momentum of the sphere, and mass 2, v2 prime, is equal to the final momentum of the sphere. All right, so now we can substitute p sub I for mass 2, v2. We'll keep m1, that's not a w, that's a v. m1 v1 prime, and for mass 2 v2 prime, we'll substitute in p sub f. Now remember, p sub f we said was going in a negative direction. All right, so let's rearrange this. We can add p sub f on the left, and we're going to get m1 v1 prime equals initial momentum plus final momentum. And if we go back to this equation, we can say angular momentum equals mvr, so we can multiply both sides times r, and this is going to be equal to angular momentum, and the right side is times r. So that will give us choice B. The solution is we have to thank Blaze for coming up with this fine solution. Thank you.